We're now talking about Amgen, which is a major biotechnology company. I'm going to brace myself for some terminology here, Paul. I know what you've got in store for me. So its blockbuster products include Neupogen and Enbrel. Neupogen stimulates bone marrow production during chemotherapy.
That's good.
And Enbrel for arthritis. It's about to launch a new drug to treat cholesterol called Evolocumab. Evolocumab.
Exactly.
You happy with that?
Good. And a reason I mention all of these is to make the point that I illustrated earlier.
Yes, I thought you were going to use me as an example.
These things. I mean, Evolocumab is interesting because it's what they call a PCSK9 inhibitor. So you know when you go to get your cholesterol tested, you've got that nonsense about good cholesterol and bad cholesterol. Well, this is a new generation of drugs that will only deal with the bad cholesterol. So it's looking as though this is going to be a real blockbuster of blockbuster. We're talking about a treatment that will cost some in the region of 100 to 120,000 rands a year. But doctors who want to prescribe these to people who are not doing well on the traditional cholesterol drugs, they're expecting this thing to sell tens and tens of billions of dollars worth of product every single quarter.
Well, according to their naming conventions, where their products are concerned, you need a pharmaceutical degree to just pronounce them.
Look, biotechnology is the new generation area, and it's pretty hot and sexy and exciting. Amgen is a big player in that market. So they've not just got one thing, they've got multiple businesses going on in this space.
Market cap, $117.4 billion US dollars. Price to earnings ratio, 20.9. Dividend yield here, just above 2%.
Now, let me go back and make the point that if you do have a degree in biotechnology and you do have the time, you can go and do a deep dive into these sort of areas because you can see where the money is. And you can see that obviously there are a couple of 100,000 people with a complex condition like Crohn's disease, where you can have a high value therapy. And then there are hundreds of millions of people who need cholesterol drugs, drugs for arthritis, drugs to deal with depression, drugs to deal with attention deficit disorder. Those are much bigger opportunities, but then there's more competition. So there are companies that are polar in the sense that they're either going to make an absolute fortune or make nothing. Some of them are even pre-FDA approval. But I generally say to people...
Does this give new meaning to Buffett's phrase that you shouldn't invest in stocks you don't understand?
Well,
so unless you have the requisite degree.
Requisite background. You know, and I think that is pretty accurate because otherwise it all just becomes about hearsay and gambling. But one of the ways of dealing with that problem, of course, is to go slightly higher up the league tables and buy a company like Amgen or Biogen IDEC or one of the major players that has a bigger portfolio of biotechnology drugs. And then you don't have them to be successful on every one because 4 out of 5 or 3 out of 5 is more than enough.
Let's have a look at the share price performance here.
Also pretty attractive. This is also one that I own personally. I've been dabbling in these stocks. We've not put a lot of clients into it. It's a fairly recent holding for me. And like I said, I'm waiting to see how that PCSK9 inhibitor thingamajig works. And then it could be something to own more widely.
This subdued performance in the 2015 period, are we going to see that as a theme across the board?
Look, US healthcare spending actually got a shot in the arm with the Supreme Court decision there to support Obamacare, not to roll back the medical insurance. So US is heading into an environment where everybody has to have insurance, and that's a big plus because it means that there'll be lots more healthcare spending. So I think we should see that move higher, but it's been a little bit masked by the rest of the global market.
Hot or not on Amgen?
Yep, I like it. I think it's one that you can safely add to a portfolio in the offshore markets.
As long as you have a degree.
Even if you don't.
A pharmaceutical degree. I'm still going that you need a degree.